Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. Let's see, Tuesday, the 29th of September. My goodness, I can't believe it. Yeah, craziness that we're already at the end of September here. Yeah, so here we are again. I can't believe it. I'm sitting here, everyone's jumping on. You guys are so sweet. So cool. All right, well, today, let me say hi to a couple people. Marilyn, Trisha, Simona, Lizzie, Grace, Vicky, Tara. Thank you guys for joining me. Rachel, thank you so much. Wow, I get so excited. Oh, and hi, Jane. How's it going? Thanks for coming on. Oh, and Kasari? I don't know. Rebecca? Okay, thanks so much, you guys, for coming on today. We are, let's see. You're in my kitchen today, so we're going to do something in the kitchen. And we're going to talk about love today because our chapter for today is all about declaring our love for the people around us. And I will share a little story in the devotional about the first time I told my husband that I loved him. So that's what we're talking about today. And I'm going to give you a little illustration of this because I just had my birthday in August, and my husband and my kids, they got me the ultimate love gift. And it just came like a week ago because it got lost from Amazon and the mail and whatever. But so I've used it a few times, and I'm not really a gadget person. I just want you guys to know I'm not really a gadget person, but this thing is so fun. I like coffee. I'm not like a every single day coffee drinker, and I'm not like a go to Starbucks every single day coffee drinker because, you know, there's just not enough moolah in the world for coffee every single day from Starbucks or your favorite coffee shop. But this thing makes it that you don't have to. So my family got me this, let me see if you can see it. It is a milk frother, okay? And it's so cool. Basically turns your plain milk, half and half, even almond milk, coconut milk, whatever, into this frothy wonderfulness. So I have my cup of coffee sitting here waiting for the froth. So I'm gonna pour in, I just have half and half. I'm gonna pour in a little bit of this, and it's so easy. You take the top, you put the top on, and it's the coolest thing because you can see through it. So you can see it frothing, which is just fun. So you push the button. Oh, let's see, where am I? And there it goes. It's spinning like crazy. And then we'll talk a little bit while it goes. It takes about 90 seconds. It's so fast and it's so fun. Anyway, so that was the love gift that my family gave to me. It's super cool because the little, I'll show you when we pull it out. It's completely like you can submerge it and wash it so you don't have to worry about all the parts and all that. And it just feels like a treat. Like anytime I make coffee, it's a treat. And isn't that like the most amazing thing to give somebody, is that every time they use something that they gave you, you feel like, oh, this is so fun. My son had hot cocoa this morning and he wanted some froth milk on top. And we put the milk on it and it's all frothy, and he sprinkled cinnamon on top, and it literally just looked like the most amazing thing ever. So, super fun. That is an example of a love gift. Now, it doesn't have to be a gift, but what we're talking about today is about speaking those words of love, even when you don't know if they're going to be reciprocated. Does that make sense? And sometimes it takes a lot of courage. And we all learned from Laura in Little House on the Prairie legendary episode, The Talking Machine, about how her declarations of love were basically shared without her wanting to, and then how that all worked out. So we're going to wait here just another second until my milk's done. We're going to pour it in, and then we're going to read the chapter. Oh, there you go. It's done. All right, so we pull off the lid. We've got this, like, I don't know if you can see it, this steamy, frothy milk. And let me see if I can angle the camera down so you guys can see this. It's right here. And we're just gonna pour in this. This is really hard to look at the camera and to pour successfully. So we've got this really frothy, wonderful foam here. And there it is. Isn't that pretty? The coolest thing is it kind of needs a little bit of a stir, but even when you stir it, the froth does not go away. It's amazing. So there is the frothy milk. Oh my goodness, it's so good. I feel like I am at my favorite coffee shop. The only thing that probably could make it better is an espresso machine, so you can make your own lattes, but I don't have an espresso machine and I have no plans of getting one. So I'm just going for this normal old coffee with frothy milk on top, and it's so fun. So this is the cool thing. You can just submerge this whole thing in the sink and wash it. There's a little tiny thing that comes out. This is the magic where it all happens. And that thing just spins and it's all washable. It's the easiest thing in the world. Anyway, there's my infomercial because it's so cool. If you are into frothy milk, that is, or someone you love is into frothy milk, that is the best present you could give them, I think. Anyway, all right, so we're talking about the talking machine. And this is from season 2, episode 13. And if you remember this, oh man, okay, Laura has the crush on Jason. He is the, let's call him the inventor, right? He wants to invent things and he's all scientific, and Laura gets stuck out in the rain with him because they've got the key on the kite and they get electrocuted, and kind of, she gets a, you know, a little spark. Anyway, it all goes to Nellie Olson's house where she has a talking machine, and Jason is all of a sudden very interested, and Nellie kind of traps Laura into confessing her love for Jason while it's being recorded, right? All right, so there's the story. And when I think of this episode, I just think about the times when we're scared to say how we feel. And we want to, but we're not sure how it's going to be received. And that is exactly how I felt when my husband and I were dating, and I wasn't quite sure because he's not really the talking kind of type. And I just had to take a leap and do it, you know? And in the episode, The Talking Machine, it's crazy because Laura just wants to die when Nellie plays this recording in front of the whole class. Like, she's like, I'm never going to school again. I'm so embarrassed, right? And then all of a sudden you realize that, like, Jason, he's the one who has the courage to say, I love Laura Ingalls. And he writes it on the chalkboard, remember? Like, and that took so much courage to just say, I love you, you know? And I think sometimes we can maybe put those words aside because we're not sure how they're going to be received. And Pa, our good old Charles Ingalls, he says that sharing how you feel is never a waste. It's always something that you can say with confidence, no matter what happens on the other side. So let's read this after I get one more drink of this, because I waited all morning to make this for you guys. Okay, it's chapter 4 in A Prairie Devotional, and it's called Declarations of Love. And the quote from Charles Ingalls is, "Nothing bad comes from telling people how you feel." Nothing bad. Interesting. Nothing bad. Anyway, sometimes we think that there are pros and cons to sharing our feelings. And Charles Ingalls said there's nothing bad that can come from telling someone how you feel. So, here we go. Expressing our feelings can be scary. We often hide our emotions to protect ourselves. Laura is crushed when her feelings for a boy are recorded on a talking machine and then played for the entire school. Charles tries to make her feel better and says it's good to share her feelings with others. He says people want to know they are loved, needed, and cared for. It takes courage to tell someone what's happening inside us. The telling is never a wrong choice, even if it doesn't always end the way we hope. I wanted to say those 3 little words, wanted to tell Josh how I felt my whole world belonged by his side. But I was scared he'd look back at me with an empty expression and smile awkwardly. When I finally found the courage to speak, I found out he'd been waiting all along for me to say, "I love you," before he did. My courage sparked his. My husband is a quiet guy. He talks a bit more than our goldfish. No joke. It's not that he doesn't have anything to say, but he weighs his words. He's careful with what comes out of his mouth. Not me. You guys all know that. I throw words around like a pizza chef throws dough. It can be quite a mess sometimes. And then again, words spoken from the heart can start something wonderful. God's declarations of love are all around us. He expresses his love through nature and people, and mostly through his word. And while not all love stories are dependable, his is. God demonstrated his love through Jesus. He made the first move, proclaiming the words of love by sending his son to die, also we can know him. Charles advises Laura not to hide her feelings, even if she is embarrassed and doesn't know how the boy will respond. Telling God how we feel is a completely different experience. We don't have to wait for the right timing or the perfect words. We can fling adoration and praise all over the place. He delights in hearing how much we love him. In the end, the boy, Jason, openly confesses his love to Laura in front of the entire class. It's a bold declaration, just like the bold love that God shares for us. And the verse is 1 John 4, 10, and 11. This is real love, not that we loved God, but that he loved us and sent his son as a sacrifice to take away our sins. Dear friends, since God loved us that much, we surely ought to love each other. And there's a couple questions, actually just one. Are you often afraid to share your feelings? And then it says you can ask God to make you brave enough to talk about your feelings when you need to. So that's declarations of love. Interesting. I think it's interesting because we want to tell people how we feel. And if we look around, God is telling us all over the place how much he loves us and how he's so willing to share that love through every flower in the field, every sunrise and sunset, every person who knows us and loves us and gives us love gifts. You know, my husband and I have been married for 21 years, and sometimes after 21 years, you can, start to just not say those things anymore. And it was probably about, I don't know, maybe 5-6 years ago, my husband started this thing. So we've been married for over 15 years, and we were married on September 11th, 9/11, okay? So about 5 or 6 years ago, he started this thing where every time it was 9/11, like 9/11 in the morning and 9/11 at night, he would, if he was home, he'd say, oh, it's 9/11. And that meant like, give me a kiss. If he's at work, he sends a text that says 9/11 kisses. And now it's like every day we're like waiting for 9/11 to happen so that we don't miss it. And we don't always catch it. Like obviously this morning at 9/11, I was on with you. So he didn't get his 9/11 kisses. But it's just a small way to declare our love for each other over and over and over and over again, because people need to know, and people forget that you love them. If you don't say it for a couple of days or weeks or months, they kind of start wondering if you still love them. I know, it's sad, huh? It's like all in our power to keep loving them. So I try to tell my husband that I love him at least 2 times a day, if not more than that. And with my kids, you know, I try to tell them I love them every single day. And maybe it's just by making hot cocoa with froth milk for my son. I also made him a egg McMuffin this morning, his favorite. And even if I'm mad at them, even if they're like moody or rolling their eyes, which happens, just keep loving them and keep telling them, I love you. I love you no matter what. I love you when you mess up. I love you when you're perfect. I love you when you make terrible decisions. I just love you. So my encouragement for you today is to declare your love. Declare it, because people need to hear it. So there you go. That's it. I hope you guys have a really great week. I'll see you next Tuesday, 9 o'clock. And if you're interested in this milk frother, I may even share a link with you guys in my newsletter, which is coming out in like a day. So if you guys are on my newsletter list, you can check out the Morocco, I don't know, milk frother. Or if you're not on my newsletter list, go onto my website, sign up, you'll get it. Once a month, no big deal, short and sweet, a little hello. WendyLouLee.com, Wendy with an I. And hope you have a really great day. I love you guys so much. Seriously, you are amazing. Oh, Trisha just said, I love you, Wendy. Thank you, Trisha. You're so sweet. Anyway, have a really wonderful day. Don't be afraid to share your love with other people. Don't be afraid to say it out loud. Even if they don't return it, who cares? You say it. All right. Love you guys. Bye.